A modern accounting firm acts as a centralized digital node, managing sensitive financial data for hundreds of clients within a single interconnected environment. To maintain operational efficiency, these firms rely on cloud-based platforms to manage this multi-client ecosystem. This architecture ensures that a minor localized breach, like a locked system or a suspicious transaction, immediately threatens the entire network. Ransomware exploits these cloud pathways to ripple outward from the firm's hub directly into client systems. Because these operations are deeply interconnected, survival requires an active structural framework, an incident response plan. Accounting firms possess specific architectural vulnerabilities that make them prime targets, starting with high-value data concentration. Cybercriminals target these systems because they aggregate the complete datasets required for identity theft and financial fraud, including tax records and payroll data. A second vulnerability arises from strict regulatory rules that mandate long-term data retention. These mandates force firms to maintain extensive archives, which often reside on older software or legacy storage systems. This data architecture creates a two-tiered risk profile. Modern, active systems sit at the top, while a bulky layer of legacy storage forms a deep archive beneath. Targeted ransomware specifically probes these older points, piercing the archive layer before creeping upward into the active network. The very retention rules designed for compliance create the structural vulnerabilities that make these attacks effective. An incident response plan functions as a structural firebreak. It provides the framework necessary to sever contagion pathways and accelerate technical recovery. The process begins by mapping the firm's digital architecture, compartmentalizing the central hub into discrete functional blocks. This allows firms to identify essential systems, such as payroll platforms, tax tools, and client databases that require immediate protection. During a live cyber incident, every system appears compromised at once, creating a state of operational chaos. With a predefined map, technical teams bypass low-priority archives to immediately isolate the core systems. This early intervention stops malware from spreading across the firm's internal networks. System mapping ensures that triage is driven by operational priority rather than panic, reducing overall downtime. An effective plan also assigns precise human execution roles to manage the crisis in real time. Without pre-allocated responsibilities, indecision creates a latency that allows malware to bridge the gap between internal systems and client environments. The first role detects the initial digital anomaly and triggers a localized alert. The second role makes containment decisions, physically severing the infected zone from the network. A third role handles communication, directing structured information to affected clients and regulatory bodies. Predefining these roles allows staff to act as logic gates, executing containment procedures the moment a threat is verified. Containment represents only one part of the response. The second requirement is maintaining business continuity during the disruption. While technical teams restore the primary network, the firm must continue to deliver core services to its clients. The response plan activates backup processes and outsourced support mechanisms, establishing a parallel pathway for essential data to reach client nodes. This strategy shields the client from the operational impact of the firm's internal technical crisis. Executing core services like payroll and recording during a breach preserves client trust and reduces the financial impact of the event. These operational procedures also fulfill strict regulatory and legal obligations. For example, the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act requires financial firms to actively safeguard client information. A documented response plan provides tangible proof during an investigation that the firm took structured steps to protect data, which can reduce regulatory penalties. Because cyber threats mutate and systems upgrade, the response plan must be updated regularly. By conducting regular simulation sessions and training exercises, firms can expose critical procedural weaknesses long before a real cyber attack ever occurs. In this digital financial environment, an incident response plan acts as the primary tool for converting inherent architectural vulnerabilities into operational